Okay, boys and girls, welcome to our first video lesson in Chapter 8, our lesson on altitude on hypotenuse. Okay, first word you just need to know is geometric mean. A geometric mean are when the means of the proportion are the same number. If you remember from Chapter 7, the first term of a proportion and the fourth term are called the extremes, and the second and the third terms are called the means. If the two means are equal, they're both the same number, in this case x, then that x is called the geometric mean. So a times b, if we cross multiply, is equal to x squared. So x, of course, is going to always equal the square root of a times b. That's why we learned radicals. Alright, so let's do this one right here. Find the geometric mean between 8 and 10. So I know now that 8 is to x, as x is to 10. So x times x is x squared is equal to 80. Well, x then would equal the square root of 80. We ignore the negative root, okay, the negative geometric mean. Root 80, of course, 80 is 16 times 5. I can pull that 16 out, and my geometric mean is 4 root 5, because that's what square root of 80 is, 4 root 5. Okay, altitude on hypotenuses is when you have a right triangle and you draw the altitude to the hypotenuse of the right triangle. Okay, we will prove this in class, but what I have now done is I have now created 3 congruent triangles. This guy right here, the little guy, I'm going to call little blue. This guy right here is similar. Did I say congruent? I meant similar. These are similar triangles. This is, we're going to call it medium green because he's the middle-sized guy. And the big guy, the original guy right here, we're going to call big red. These 3 triangles are all similar by angle, and we'll prove that in class. So we're looking right here. Here is our altitude on hypotenuse right here. Okay, we have our big red right here. If I turn him over and flip him around, he's right here. We have our medium green, that's this guy right here. If I take him and just slide him and turn him right side up, he's right here. And now I have my little boy blue, he's right here, and I take him right here, and now I can see I have 3 similar triangles with all their corresponding parts. As we look right here, and again, we just turn and knock these guys over, but I got big red, I got medium green, and I got little boy blue right here, okay? And I can set up proportions with all these triangles, and we'll do this in class, but we get, a whole bunch of things, and 3 of these are special cases because we get a case of a geometric mean. As we can see here, x is to h as h is to y. So h is the geometric mean between x and y. I get right here x is to b as b is to c. Okay, so therefore now b is the geometric mean between x and c. And lastly, I get y is to a as a is to c. Okay, so a is the geometric mean between y and c. So, how do we use alt on hype? We're going to find right here x, y, and z in this triangle. And you can see up here I got my big red. Okay, in red now, this short leg right here, that's my z side, so that's this side right here. I got my short, my medium leg, that's y, that's this side right here. And I have my hypotenuse, which is 13, 9 plus 4. For medium green, that's this guy right here. My short leg is x. My medium leg is 9. and my hypotenuse is y. For little boy blue, that's this guy right here, my short leg is cuatro, 4 in Spanish. My medium leg is x, and my hypotenuse is z. So now to solve for x, y, and z, I can make some proportions. Okay, I can see right here, okay, let me get my pointer. For x, I got 9 is to x as x is to 4. So I can write that now. 9 is to x as x is to 4. So now I know that x squared is equal to 36, so x is equal to 6. Okay, to solve for y, once I know that x is 6, I'm actually just going to write those in. So x is 6 and 6. To solve for y now, looking around, I got y is to 9 as 13 is to y. So I'm going to write that over here in red. So y is to 9 as 13 is to y. Okay, so I'm going to cross multiply. Y squared is equal to 9 times 13, which I don't know what it is, and it really doesn't matter, because when I take the square root of both sides, I get y is equal to square root of 9 times 13. I'm going to pull that 9 out, and so I get y is equal to 3 root 13. And I'll do the last one in green, I hope. Hope I can find some room. I got to find z. Okay, I already know that y is 13, so let me just write that in. I forgot. I'm sorry, y was 3 root 13. I may not need that, but let's see. Okay, and now to find z, I'm going to do, how about we do this? Z is to 4 as 13 is to z. So I'm going to write that down here. Z is to 4 as 13 is to z. I get z squared is equal to 4 times 13. I'm going to take the square root of both sides. So z is equal to the square root of 4 times 13, which of course is, I pull the 4 out, I make it a 2 root 13. Alright, let's try another one. That was kind of messy. Okay, let's look at this problem right here. Okay, I'm going to try to solve for x, y, and z. First of all, I'm going to see my big red triangle right here. So I know that my short leg is y. I know that my medium leg is z. And I know that my hypotenuse is x plus 10. That's that total length right here. Right? For my medium green, that's this guy. Okay, my short leg down here is 20. We can see that right here. Okay, my long leg is x, and my hypotenuse is z. And for my little boy blue, this guy down here, we can see that my short leg is 10. I see that my long leg is 20. And I see that my hypotenuse is y. Okay, let's solve for x first. Get my pointer. I'm just kind of looking around. Let's do this right here. X is to 20 as 20 is to 10. X is to 20 as 20 is to 10. So I'm going to write that out. X is to 20 as 20 is to 10. Do we see we're going to get 10x is equal to 400 when I cross multiply? So x is equal to 40. I'm going to write that in before I forget. X is 40. And 40 plus 10, this side right here, is 50. To do my y, let's take a quick little look around. How about we do this? Y is to 50 as 10 is to y. So I'll write that down here in green. Y is to 50. Whoop. Sorry. Y is not equal to 50. Y is to 50 as 10 is to y. Let's cross multiply. I get y squared is equal to 500. we agree that 500 is 5 times 100. Well, the square root of 5 times 100 is equal to 10 root 5. So that's the answer to y. Okay, and then hopefully I won't need to use that 10 root 5, and I see right here, I see that I can do z is to 50 as 40 is to z. So I'm going to write that in red. Z is to 50 as 40 is to z. So I get z squared is equal to 50 times 40, which is actually 2,000. Okay, so z is equal to, I can pull out a 100, and I'm going to get 100 times 20, which of course is 100 times 4 times 5. So it looks like I can pull out a 10 and I can pull out a 2. So z is equal to 20 root 5. Okay? Okay, let's look at this third problem right here. I got my big red, so I'm going to fill in my sides. It looks like this is x, this is y, and this is p plus 4. It looks like in my medium green, okay, we got to turn things around a little bit. This is 3 down here. This is p, and this is y. Okay, and then for my little boy blue, it looks like this guy down here is 4, this is 3, and this is x. This time I'll help you set up the proportion. Let's find p first, or actually we don't know which one we can find first, so let's kind of take a little look around, but I actually do see that we can find p relatively easily. Okay, as I look right here, I can see that p is to 3, as 3 is to 4. Okay, so I'm going to write that. P is to 3 as 3 is to 4. Okay, looking at x. I'm looking for x now. Remember, we've already found p. I think I can do this. X is to 4 as p plus 4 is to x. So once you find p, we can plug that in. So I know now that p plus, get my writer here, p plus 4 is to x as x is to 4. Remember, we've already solved for p. Please do that first. Over here, don't try to solve this like that. That would be yicky. And now we have p and we have x, so now let's try to find y. And I'm looking around, I'm looking around, I'm looking around. We could probably do y is to p as p plus 4 is to y. Remember, we've solved for p already. We know what that is. So y is to p as p plus 4 is to y. So I'm going to write that right here. Y is to p as p plus 4 is to y. Please make sure you solve for y first and then plug it in to solve. Solve for p first and plug it in to solve for y. I'm going to let you do the math. Stop the tape. Do your cross multiplications and see if you can come up with your answers. Okay, you should have found p first. P is 2.25 because when you cross multiplied, we had 4p was equal to 9. Okay, we found that x was 5. We found that y was 3.75. Let's do another one. Okay, let's look at this guy right here. I got my big red, and this time all I'm going to do is I'm going to set up. I'm going to help you set up the sides, and then you'll have to do all the work. Okay, so I'm looking for mn. I don't know what mn is, so I'm going to call that guy x. So that's x up here. Okay, and I'm also going to be looking for mo, so I'm just going to call that piece y. Okay, we may need to find our third side, which we can call this z if you want. Okay, and if this whole length here is x, that means that this little guy right here is going to be x minus 4. Okay, so now let's just label our sides. In our big red, our little side, our little leg is y. Our medium leg is 6, and my hypotenuse is x. In my green, that's this guy right here. It looks like my short leg is z. It looks like my long leg is 4. It looks like my hypotenuse is 6. And the little boy blue, that's this guy right here. It looks like our short side is x minus 4. Our medium leg is z. And our hypotenuse is y. I'll give you a little clue to get you started. I think I'm just giving myself a quick look. I think we can solve for x first. 6 is to x as 4 is to 6. 6 is to x as 4 is to 6. So solve for x first, and then the only other thing we're looking for is y. So you can probably do that too. Okay, so go ahead, stop the tape, and do your work. You should have found that mn, or x, is 9, and mo, which was y, is 3 root 5. 9, 3 root 5. We'll do 1 or 2 more here. Let's look at this guy. I'll just set up the sides for you again, and then you'll have to do all the work. Okay, I got my big red. Whoop! I gotta get my red. Big red. It has a long leg of 10. We can see that right now. I'm looking for AD. We'll call that guy X. And I'm also looking for CD, which is this guy right here. We'll call that guy Y. And because I do need to find this piece, I'm going to call this guy Z. Okay, so in my big red now, I got my long leg is 10, my short leg is Z, and my hypotenuse is 25. For medium green, I got my short leg is Y. I got my long leg now is going to be 25 minus X. So this is 25 minus X. And my hypotenuse for medium green is 10. And my little boy blue, that's this little guy right here. It looks like my short leg is X. My long leg is Y. And my hypotenuse is Z. You need to set up your proportions and solve for AD, which is X, and solve for CD, which is Y. Have fun. Okay, you should have found that the AD was 21. That was my X. And CD, which was my Y, was 2 root 21. Let's try one more. I'm going to let you completely do this one on your own. The only thing I'm going to do is just first, let's put in some X, Y's, and Z's because we're looking for CD. So I'm going to call this guy right here X. And I'm going to call my AD, that's going to be my Y. I also may need to find Z as well, or label, but that length right there is going to be Z. Fill in your signs and solve for AD and CD, and I'll be right back with the answers. Okay, you should have had an answer of 9 for CD. Okay, that was our X, and you should have found our Y was 6 root 3. Okay, and if you need a little help, I can show you what I did to get those answers. For my big red, my short leg was 6, my long leg was Y, and of course my hypotenuse is X plus 3. For my medium green, my short leg was Z, my long leg was X, and my hypotenuse was Y. And for my little boy blue, my short leg was 3, my long leg was Z, and my hypotenuse was 6. I found X first by doing this right here. X plus 3 is to 6, as 6 is to 3. X plus 3 is to 6, as 6 is to 3. Okay, once I did that, I found that X was 9. Then, once I knew that X was 9, to find Y, I could do Y is to 12, as 9 is to Y. y is to 12 as 9. What am I saying? Yeah, y is to 12 as 9 is to y. And then I could use to solve for y. All right, folks, that's it. We'll see you soon. Bye.